It's Adele from Get Gorgeous. I'm in my office. It's half term. I've been evicted from the front room. I wanted to talk to you about the vlog this week. It's all about internal mind chatter. That dialogue that goes on in your head is so exhausting. We have had such a upsetting weekend. The outpouring has been incredible. The social media response has been wonderful. Friends are tagging me left, right and centre to make this campaign work. And Be Kind is wonderful, a wonderful initiative for everybody. But I want to talk to you just briefly about the internal dialogue that we have that's going on all the time in our thoughts, and how exhausting that is to your mental well-being, but also to your physical well-being. It can have a cascading effect down through your hormones and down through your body. And if you realized just how powerful your thoughts are on your mind and on your body, you would never ever have a negative thought. When I do my relaxation and meditation days, I have this little friend of mine, his little Ben the Buddha. He's very friendly, he's lovely, and he helps me to bring me back into what is real and what is noise, what is emotionally real for me, what is working for me, and what is outside noise, what is disturbing and upsets me. And it brings me back to focus. And my little friendly Buddha helps me to do that, because he reminds me of the phrase that he uses, and the mind is everything. What you think, you become. So if you're always thinking about the negative side of life, about what things people have done to you, if you've got that level of me, to me consciousness, or this has happened to me, I am everybody's mercy, the world is against me, it is happening to me, then that is what you create. What you think about, you bring about. So understanding your internal mind chatter is so important. It creates the environment that you live in. So being positive has been proven scientifically. Research has proven that being positive helps you to manage stress, which has an amazing effect on your body, has an effect on your overall well-being. How do we do it? How do we stay positive? It is really hard. I do appreciate that. But if you click the blog, you'll find out more. So feeling calm and uplifting and energized is wonderful. But not every day is a retreat day. Not every day can be that flow, that ease and flow. Some of the time, a lot of the time, we can feel exhausted, overwhelmed by the day. Sometimes we can feel as if we've been trodden on, all the things that we have to do and cope with, and that chatter goes along with it, and it's very detrimental to our health. And what is interesting is not the exact wording or the wording that happens then and now and then. It's what happens on a continual basis, what happens in terms of the cycles that we have. So if you've got this weekly cycle of behavior, so a Tuesday afternoon is perhaps a little easier than a Monday morning, or a Friday afternoon is much better than a Monday morning. You have that weekly cycle and that yearly or monthly cycle that you're aware of. You know, you feel much better in the summer than you do in the winter. But also there's those habitual cycles, those hereditary cycles that also create a mind chatter, that also take up space in your head and brain space. And it also affects your body. When you're aware, when somebody points out to you, you've said that before, or yeah, you've said that but in a different way, or you're doing the same thing. When you are aware of those patterns, you're released. It is simple as that. Somebody lovingly pointing them out to you. It's as simple as that. Just awareness. Shine the light of awareness, and it makes a huge difference. Because mind chatter holds us stuck. It holds us in a pattern, this cyclical pattern that goes round and round and round, and we do it again, but in a different situation, in a different circumstance. So in my book, I talk about this a lot. Have you got an inner dementor, or do you listen to your inner diva? And clients that I work with have all sorts of fantastic names for their dementor. I love it. I love hearing what everybody calls their dementor. And once you can hear her, once you give her a name, once you know who she is, she's easy to spot. You know, ah, well, don't worry, that's just Mildred going off on one. Instead, listen to your inner diva, somebody that's going to help you, to lift you, to take you out of the awful weather or the awful feeling that you're going through. Imagine what life would be like if you were never listening to the dementor. You were only thinking about how great you are, how wonderful you are, how clever you are. You would have to be really strong, powerful person to put up with the inner barrage that we give ourselves every day. Oh, you're so stupid, you've done it again. Oh no, you shouldn't have eaten those packets of biscuits. Oh no, I'm never good enough. I always fail. I'm big boned. I can't do this. Everything doesn't work for me. Nothing goes my way. Oh, the other one I love. Too emotional, way too emotional. But this is who we are in that instance. Rather than berating ourselves, move on. Think about, okay, I needed a bit of love, I needed a little bit of focus, but don't sit in that shame. Moving on. I am a great believer in sharing. Once you have shared how you're feeling, once you come to notice how you're feeling, you shift it. You put it into perspective and it goes. It's as simple as that. So discussing it, putting it into perspective, gives you that level of awareness to release. You see all of a sudden that this issue really isn't an issue. So if you'd like some tips on how to do this, click the blog. It's all there. Get your inner mentor on your side. Imagine that freedom with no worry, knowing your triggers and releasing them. Emotional triggers are your insights. If you get really upset, then you know that you've hit upon an insight bomb. Somebody has shown you what you react to, and you can notice your behavior and therefore you can change it. So from next week, I'm going to be running my 6-week gentle reset. Now, because of the success of the last group, I have been encouraged by the group to run it again. And in those 6 weeks, we are going to be talking about all sorts of things, the triggers that make us react in certain ways, the emotional triggers that we have, the physical triggers that we have. Nutrition is always my focus, because I believe that if you're feeling strong in yourself, if you're eating well, you're less likely to be swayed by the day's events. Exercise is always on my agenda. It is proven to help with your mental well-being, you know that, but finding an exercise that works for you is the key. I am Pilates based, biomechanically aware. Your way that your shoulders sit affects your head, your neck. It's going to give you headaches. So my work is always Pilates based. So in the 6 weeks, we're going to do Pilates based exercise. How fascinating. And then there's always the feedback. How are you getting on? How are you coping with the nutrition, with the habits that we've set for that week? There's always that feedback loop. And we'll do that on the calls, on the online coaching calls, but we'll also do that one-to-one in the adherence feedback sheets. Are you interested? I'm very excited to be starting this again next week. Wednesday night, 7 o'clock, you and I will come on a call like this and work through your triggers, what's going on for you, and finding that solution. Air and share. And it's done in such a loving way, a community way that helps everybody to feel connected. So click the blog and find out more. And I look forward to talking to you again soon. This is Adele from Get Gorgeous. Bye for now.